Welcome to Sheffield Hopcast. Welcome to our third lockdown episode, and happy Easter. I mean, it's kind of been and gone, but we're calling this our Easter special, as all will be revealed now as we go around and meet the crew. And if you're watching the video of this, you will already have spied we have another special guest joining us this week. But we all set ourselves the challenge of picking an Easter beer, and very loose theme, could go whichever direction you wanted with that. So let's see what Adam has picked.
I think I've won. I
think you've won.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
I've gone Emmanuales Ale the Lamb, bottled this week. I don't think you can even get it anywhere yet. Dropped off on my doorstep the other day. So 5.6. I think it was planned to be a different strength. If you can see on video, he's put a sticker over it.
Oh yeah,
it's 5.6% American Pale Ale. I have tried one already because he sent me two. Bless him. This is from Nick Law, if you don't know. Quite a nice amount of Sabro in it again. Sabro beer on the lockdown. But yeah, looking forward to having another one.
It's pretty good. So what's it called? Ale of the Lamb?
Ale the Lamb.
Ale the Lamb. All right, that's good for Easter. That's pretty good. I think. I think you're certainly in the lead so far. Let's put it that way. Right, Laura.
Hi.
Hello.
I had no choice. Well, I decided I wanted something chocolatey, and that meant I had no choice apart from to go Imperial again. I had quite a wide choice amongst that, but I went for this one from Atom Brewery from Hull. Polarity Chocolate and Coconut Imperial Stout, 9%. One I've not tried before. Jim's parents brought us this from a little day trip to Hull that they went on pre-lockdown, so I thought I'd give this one a try.
What was it? 9%.
9, yeah.
Oh, you're going up.
Quite gentle for an Imperial Stout, that. Yeah. Right, Sean.
James, good evening. Good
Hello.
afternoon. I don't know what this section is. I thought we were all drinking the same beer tonight.
That's next week.
Sorry,
very to theme.
It's a bottle of landlord, and because we've got the best looking man in beer on with us tonight, I've gone for some shades to try and compete with him desperately in the different stakes. So I've got sunglasses, I've got a bottle of landlord. I honestly knew nothing about an Easter beer.
You've been busy though.
Sean, not only did we talk about the Easter theme last week, but you set the challenge of everyone's got to bring a Cadbury's cream egg, which, by the way, I actually have done, and I guess I'm the only person that's done it. But that was your challenge, Sean. You said, we're all going to have a Cadbury's cream egg then when we do it.
I honestly thought this was landlord week. I have got a cream
It's
egg.
not very Eastery, is it?
To be fair, all weeks and days are sort of combining into one. Yeah. So, you can give him a bit of credit, maybe not.
Give me 2 minutes and I'll come back with something and I'll try and create an Easter link.
Go on,
right. Go. Right. So we don't need to tell you what next week's episode is now. We've already done that. Right. As you probably guessed, we have a special guest on with us, James Buxton, who works for Thornbridge Brewery. James, you obviously had less time to kind of pull all this together than the rest of us, but then you do work for a brewery, so I'm expecting good things here. So what is your Easter-themed beer?
Well, I was stuck in between a couple, but I was sort of went with the idea what would be my perfect Easter egg. So I went for a beer called King of the Woodland. Look at that lovely owl on the label. Look at that, gorgeous. And it's an Imperial Stout with pistachio and honeycomb. So it sounds delicious. It's at a nice, light, easy breezy 12.5%.
So that's what you call an Imperial Stout. I must admit,
Exactly,
I have seen that a couple of places this week, and I've been eyeing it up, thinking if I can get hold of one of those, I probably will do. Right, so I'm not letting the side down at all here because I've also gone Imperial Stout. Mine is Imperial Chocolate Pretzel Stout from S43 Brewery. It's called Pretzels on My Mind. And this has got pretty much anything you can name it's got in it. It's got hops in it. It's got Challenger hops. It's got malt, pale chocolate Munich, crystal, Cara, roasted biscuit, caramel steam wheat. It's got cacao nibs. It's got baked pretzels. It's got lactose. It's got some yeast in it. It's got some oats in it. It's got everything in it, really. I have a slight issue with this because I bought a couple of beers from S43, and when I saw them, I thought, oh, that must be a local brewery. S43 must be the postcode. But no, they're in, where are they? They're in Wales or something. Durham. So they're definitely not a local brewery. But yeah, that's what I've gone with. Oh, it's 10%. So I'm sort of in the middle of Laura and James.
Isn't it what Sonic 43 have rebranded to?
Yeah.
I've not tried any of their beers since the rebrand, actually.
Really, really good. I did a deal like a couple of weeks ago. I think you got like 6 beers for 25 quid delivered. And yeah, all of them have just been absolutely top notch. So worth checking out. Absolutely.
Mm.
There's no
James
finer
Buxton.
feeling, is there, than pouring an Imperial Stout. The way that it sort of like gloops down the glass as you pour it is just such a good feeling.
Buxton, who makes your beer?
Pardon? Oh,
Who
yeah,
makes
I
your
didn't
beer?
mention, did I?
It's
It's
left-handed giant, isn't it?
Oh, left a giant. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Oh,
and
hang
it is-
on. Look what Sean's brought to table at 6 o'clock.
Oh, no.
Oh, Sean.
He's not going
Right.
to drink it though, is he?
He's
Just
back
sit
in
with
the
it.
game.
So with many apologies for spoiling this week's surprise beer, I'll put that away. So I've been upstairs into my stash of secret dark beers that Deborah didn't even know were there. And I thought the most Eastery thing was Yellow Belly. Lots of chocolate, lots of peanuts. That's as close as I can get to Easter. And I've got a cream egg to have with it as well.
Cream egg buddies.
Oh,
Has
lovely.
anyone else got a cream egg, or is it just the two of us?
I've got a caramel egg.
Nah.
That's
It's
better.
already away in the kitchen. Not the same, is it?
Mine
Not the
No,
same.
sounds
throw it away, James. Don't count.
Already done. Already done.
Oh,
Pick it open then.
this is really quite boozy.
Mine's boozy.
Well, funny that,
This
isn't it? With
is
percentage?
very boozy. Nice.
This is has anyone had a beer yet? This is my first beer. In fact, it's my first beer of the weekend, I think. This.
Oh, wow.
First beer of the day.
Yeah.
It's my first beer of this hour.
First beer of this hour. I mean, we
I
are
was really
starting
nervous,
it on
so I
the
had a
hour, so.
warm-up beer, so. No, I was really nervous, so I had like a warm-up beer, and I tried to pick the sort of smallest but strongest beer that I had, and I had like a rare barrel-aged red rye IPA that I just had in the back of my fridge, and yeah, that sort of warmed me up, let's say. So feeling lovely and confident now.
So as you are the guest, James, we have to probe and kind of ask, how has lockdown been treating you?
It's been absolutely fine, to be honest. I'm actually furloughed. There's lots of people still working at the brewery, so massive shout out to them. We hugely appreciate it. But for me, it's just been trying to find different ways to fill my time that is also quite productive. So I've been trying to do a lot of exercise.
Yep.
Lots of sort of cleaning.
Smashing 12% beers in.
Yeah, just, one a day at least. But now I'm just trying to keep positive, and, it's very rarely that me and Siobhan, my partner, have this much time together. So we're just, trying to make the most of it and just enjoy the time and, silver linings and all that. So, yeah.
How's the cat
Trying the
taking
best.
it? How's the cat taking it, James? Is he like going,
The
what
cats-
are you guys doing around here?
The cats want us out desperately. Every time I make eye contact, it's not pleasant. They're thinking, get out, Dad. What are you doing?
Dad.
But no, yeah. Dad. Yeah, Dad. My kids. Laura knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that's not weird at all.
Thank
Fully
you.
agree.
Thank you, man.
My cat also, because I've been working from home quite a bit recently, and he just, it's like he knows what time it is, and he knows that on a Monday to Friday between 8 and 4 or whatever, he's like, you're not supposed to be here right now. What are you doing?
Oh, they know.
Weekends,
They know.
he's really sociable. Like, I think he can tell the time and knows what day of the week it is.
The other cat's
Genuinely.
coming round for a party.
Well, it can be arranged.
Cats will one day become our overlords. They will rule over it.
Oh,
I mean, they
yeah.
already kind of do, really, don't they? If you've got a
Yeah.
cat, the cat rules the house. That's the way that these things work.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. Sean, I need to ask you, before we got into lockdown, did you used to go to like a Turkish barber's for a shave?
Yes.
Because I understand that people obviously have not been able to get haircuts because barbers are shut down, but you do seem to be sprouting quite a whopper of a beard on you at the moment.
I would normally, because I'm lazy, have one shave and one haircut about every 4 to 5 weeks. But now my hair is at about 6 to 7 weeks, and exactly the same for the beard. So I've been desperately hunting online today for some hair clippers, but Argos and everybody else are all sold out of them. I have got a shaver, so I can obviously take care of this, but the other option then is just to shave my head and go like you, James, or go for a real cool look over the top. I've been brave enough to do neither so far. So I'm stuck with the beard, stuck with the increasingly loppy haircut. But the beer's lovely, by the way. So everything is good now. Everything is good.
It's ages since I had it. What's the percentage of yellow belly?
11, isn't it?
11, yeah. You don't see the naked bottle very often, of course, of yellow belly. You see the paper and all the wrapping, but you don't see the naked bottle very often. So there it is. It's a world first as well. This is the first time ever that a yellow belly has been sucked out of a Norman Hunter Barnsley Football Club pint pot.
Is that the one that looked? Is that the one that looked like a really big head? What we're talking about last week.
Yeah. So another world first for
Oh
Sheffield.
my God.
And Norman's in hospital at the moment. He's got the virus, unfortunately.
Oh.
So cheers to Norman Hunter, a Leeds and Barnsley legend.
Cheers, Norman.
And I wish him all the best, of course.
Agreed. I think I'll
Cheers.
raise a glass to that. And anyone that's listening that has relatives or friends, family that are kind of going through similar sort of stuff, then we wish everyone all the best. Have we got any goss between us from this week? Anything that's going on? Anything that we've spotted? I've got one thing that I want to talk about, but I will hang on till everyone's kind of done their bits.
Well, we've seen his first kind of brewery wobble this week, haven't we, in Hawkshead?
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but quite a public, quite public about it. Letting quite a lot of staff off and things. So don't know what's happening behind closed doors because it doesn't immediately sound like they're folding or anything, but it's start to take its toll on breweries. So that's the first one I've heard of publicly that's made some serious changes to their setup.
Yeah.
I think, and there's possibly more to that, obviously, because they would have had the option to furlough, but they've not gone with it. So maybe the problem lies a bit deeper, like even before this unfortunate situation came to play. So who knows? I mean, I'm friends with quite a lot of the people there, and it's sad times, really. But they all seem to still be in as good spirits as they can be. But it's just a strange time for many breweries, and I don't think that'll be the first brewery that we've seen sort of close the doors or people leave, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm really sad about it. I think as well because the way that it was announced, you could tell that all of the people that were affected were also, it doesn't sound like it was their call or their choice.
No.
they all sound really sad about it. So I hope they're all okay and hope something good can come out of it in the long term. But yeah, it's a real blow, I think, for to hear about, and it's.
And the beers
I
are
would
so good as well.
absolutely not have guessed that sort of brewery to be the first to announce this kind of thing either. I don't really know what I was expecting. I mean, it's completely unprecedented times, isn't it? But you know, they seemed like a really, really stable kind of business and all of that kind of thing. So obviously there's a lot that nobody who is outside of it can know. But yeah, it came as a real shock.
Yeah, as you say, we're in unprecedented times, and I think you kind of the human instinct thing is just to kind of assume that everything will just be all right. You know, breweries will be all right. They'll be away, and everything will go back to normal. And it still feels kind of relatively early in this whole thing to kind of already be looking at a brewery that's having to make sweeping changes. So yeah, I mean, as James says, you know, it's probably not going to be the only brewery that finds itself in that kind of situation, and you know, it will be sad to see kind of whatever happens at anywhere else. Yeah, Adam, what's your beer like?
It's really, really good. I recommend it. I don't know what even his plans are in terms of releasing. Obviously, Emmanuales is still like it's a commercial brewery in kind of at home essentially. So I don't know if you've heard anything, Sean. I don't know whether he's supplying any people with it at the minute or whether he's just holding on to it.
We stocked.
It's really, really good.
Over Christmas, we stocked 3 or 4 beers over Christmas period, but then I've not heard anything since.
Yeah, I think this might be the first kind of major one he's done and bottled and labelled. So it was just on the off chance I messaged him saying, "I don't suppose you've got any of them bottles left from over Christmas," thinking, "Oh, that'd be quite a nice link to Easter and stuff." And he's like, "I've just bottled some. They've not even got the labels on yet." He goes like, "Let me know what your address is, and we're going out for a family walk, and I'll put some behind your bin," sort of thing.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Send me a T-shirt as well. Yeah. So yeah. Cheers, Nick.
I've got to admit, Adam, when I saw you talking about that in our little private group chat this week, I wondered what you were doing. This was Landlord Week, and I couldn't understand why you were showing off about an Emmanuales beer. I just didn't get it.
Well, Sean, you have been busy on your deliveries, aren't you, this week?
I have been a busy week. I have. This is not gossip, but of course, lots of breweries, beer shops, pubs, bars are struggling badly at the moment, and so a number are coming up with different ideas to try and raise some short-term funds just to help things along and look after their staff. And so one example in Sheffield, my favourite pub, the Rutland, if you go onto some of their social media, you'll see that the artist that does a lot of their designs is selling limited edition prints of the Rutland. There are 3, I think, at the moment, and the majority of the funds that you spend to buy your little print goes to the Rutland. So 100%, in fact, of this print that was purchased last week and arrived very promptly in the post, which I hope you can see is a lovely print at the front of the building.
That's brilliant.
So 100% of the funds, or our funds, have gone to the Rutland to help them along over the next few weeks, and you get a little beautiful print as a result of that. So everybody wins.
Oh, very good. Do you know what'd be really good? Do you know what'd be really good? You know, if anybody, obviously we've been in Rutland, but they've got that like Lego version of the Rutland. We should put some pressure on Lego to release a limited edition model of the Rutland. How many people would have that? Yeah,
at least 27. Maybe one of them.
28.
So I want to talk about when April Fools and not April Fools. So first of all, let's talk about moonshine in cans. So that is a thing after all that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's something it's been on the kind of long-term agenda for a while, and moved up the plan a bit with the current situation. But we don't know exactly when we're going to be able to actually can it and release it. So we were kind of keeping it under our hats a bit because being really selfish, didn't want to be deluged with a load of when is this happening kind of thing. So I was like, if I put it out on April the 1st, then I can just leave it for a little bit and nobody will know and I won't have to say anything and I can just keep it a bit of a cheeky little secret. But then I thought for Easter it'd be nice to actually confirm that it was real and that we weren't just being cruel and bringing any, kind of getting people's hopes up unnecessarily or anything like that. So there isn't a date yet, but it is completely true. It's definitely happening. Yeah, that's all I can really say.
I'm so excited.
I'm quite excited about it.
I mean,
There's a reason why
presumably.
So go on.
I was going to say, presumably, like it will have to be tweaked to go into cans, won't it?
Yeah. It's going to be. It will be lightly carbonated. It won't be can conditioned or anything like that, so it will be treated slightly differently, but in terms of the brew and the recipe and everything, it will be exactly the same beer.
Is there a reason you've always avoided doing it in any small package? Do you know?
Not really. We've never bottled it because it involved sending the beer away and losing control over it, which we weren't happy to do. And then because we've been using contract canners who've been absolutely brilliant, mobile canners that come to the brewery, they have quite kind of rigid schedules, and with our tank usage and having to fit it in, it was just too much to try and fit in. But we're due our own canning line any day now.
Oh, wow, brilliant.
Which is one of the things that's kind of meaning we can't say exactly when the cans will be ready because the line isn't actually in the brewery yet to be able to start using it. But it's on the way, and so it just gives us a lot more freedom and flexibility, and there's less kind of constraining what we can do. So it seemed like a good time to kind of bring it into part of what the brewery does, really.
Cool, that is good. The other sort of April Fool that wasn't an April Fool, even though it wasn't on April the 1st, but when I first read it, I assumed that it was, and I'll show you the photo of it. I know you'll all have seen it, but this is Northern Monk's latest releases, which are 2 beers, one being a Sunday dinner brown ale, which is actually made with Aunt Bessie's Yorkshire puddings and roast potatoes, and a jam roly-poly pale ale. Which is less weird, to be fair. I mean, that wouldn't be unusual in this in kind of the current beer world, is it? But I can't Sunday dinner beer. I mean, I've not heard people clamoring for that. I don't think demand was there in the first place. Is anyone going to be trying it?
I think Laura, didn't you? You've been quite vocal. Well, not to say quite vocal. You posted something about it, didn't you? Because I'm sure I replied to it.
Well, setting aside the kind of roast dinner and a beer, which is one thing, doing it with Aunt Bessie's, it's not a Yorkshire pudding. There's nothing worse than going around, I know this is a first world problem, going to my mum's house for Sunday dinner and they're going, I've made Yorkshire puddings and they're Aunt Bessie's. It's like, no, they're an insult to the Yorkshire pudding. Sorry, I have much more strong feelings on Aunt Bessie's Yorkshire puddings than I think I do about the beer, but I'm not sure I want a Sunday dinner brown ale in my life. The jam roly-poly one I'm more on board with, but
you've got to have a both, haven't you?
Put actual roast potatoes and Yorkshire puddings in it.
People lap it up, weren't they? So it's one of them things. I don't know.
They did the Hendo's beer, didn't they? Which everyone kind of thought that can't be. They're not really going to do that. That must be a joke. And so this is just kind of like, I think it's like their annual sort of release where everyone looks at it and goes, "That's not real, is it? That can't be real." So it just seems to be kind of like a bit of an annual Northern Monk thing now, just to come out with something that's kind of like savoury but a bit weird.
I'll make quite honest. Yeah, it's a year ago now since Endo's was released.
Because that was another like April Fool's that wasn't an April Fool's, wasn't it?
Yeah. And yesterday we got loads and loads of social media requests asking if we were getting the Northern Monk Sunday Dinner series in, and they've not yet been offered trade. We've not been offered them as yet, but I've emailed them, of course. Laura, I think they've done it with Aunt Bessie's because, of course, this is a drink little series that will be subbed by people outside of Yorkshire as well. And those people cannot make Yorkshire puddings, and therefore Aunt Messie's are the next best thing. So the people of Derbyshire and beyond have to make do with Aunt Messie's. And so, I think it's very appropriate. It's a big help to everyone beyond Yorkshire.
I mean, fair play to them for giving it a go. It's
fun.
A bold
It's fun.
move, and it is fun.
Does it
And
claim to have,
I'm
does
sure
it
lots
claim
of
to have
people
any?
love it.
Is it just a brown ale to go with your dinner, or has it got some? Is it got some?
It's got
batter
Yorkshire
in it?
puddings and roast potatoes in it.
Yeah, so
Potatoes in it, yeah.
have they conditioned it with that, or has it gone in the mashed? I don't
I
know.
don't
Well,
know.
I suppose you make vodka out of potato, don't you? So
I've had a few beers that tasted like they were made from potato peeling in the past. And so this might be the next level. I think.
The perfect
evolution.
Beer, like beer gravy is a really good thing, isn't it? Like, if you put a bit of
The
brown
reverse.
ale in your gravy. So
I've
maybe
never
that-
done that.
oh,
See, that way around doesn't seem weird, and like beer batter is not weird, is it? But doing it the other
of
way
course not.
around
Yeah.
feels really odd. But then we've been talking about it for 5 minutes. I'm sure loads of other people have. So you've got to say
You're
kind
never
of
going
fair
to
play
get
to
sloshed
them
on batter, are you? So.
for doing it.
What we could do, of course, is make our gravy next week with the Sunday dinner beer that's got roast potatoes and the Yorkshire. Very insidious.
Don't say this, Sean, because you'll turn up next week with a Sunday dinner and you'll be like, "Oh, I thought we were doing Sunday dinners." You're like, "No,
ready for this
landlord."
week. I almost.
Oh no!
Buxton's gone.
Sean made me laugh so much that I fell off the bed.
Anyone that's watching the video version will understand what just happened. If you listen to the podcast version, you need to watch the video version to appreciate what just happened to James Buxton.
You look like you fell down the stairs or something. You're like tumbling.
Very dramatic.
I'm not on the stairs, thank God. I haven't got any stairs, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
Can I admit to something? I am in my 50s, and currently I can only see 4 people on my screen. I can't see James with everyone else. So what do I need to do? Can you give me an online tutorial? How do I get to see James as well as?
Sean, that's funny actually, because I can't see you.
I think this is, if you are watching on a
laptop.
tablet device, then you are limited to the number of people that you can see. If you watch
I'm on
on
my
a
phone. That's why.
on a desktop or a laptop of some sort, then you get the option to switch to what's called gallery view, which shows you everyone.
It might be setting to change. I wonder if you've not got the voice activated thing on.
James, if you flip your screen, you will just see me on my own, and I can just see you on your own. So give it a flick.
Oh, it's perfect. It's like we're having a beer together, just us two.
Yeah, James, just me and you now.
Cheers.
Buddy. All the
Cheers,
best.
Sean.
All right, well, we'll be off then. See you.
Give us a
Have a
privacy,
nice
please.
afternoon.
Right, we've got
Actually-
about. Sorry, Sean.
Without being overly nice to James, he is very much. We all like our top threes in the beer industry. James is one of the top 3 people, along with Laura, who work in the beer industry. There's 2 out of my top 3. Brilliant.
Who's your other then? Yourself?
Who's the number 1?
It's the other one is Deborah.
Great answer.
Yeah, safe answer.
Right, we've got about 5
appreciate
minutes
it.
left, so let's do some quick beer reviews. So, Adam, obviously, you've told us about yours.
Yeah, it's really good. I hope
Sean,
to see it again.
it's about 2 years since Yellow Belly first came out. It was around for quite a while, wasn't it? Before they did the kind of the last run.
They've done about 6 years of it, I
A
think.
long time ago, yeah. It was part of the what was the international series that it was?
Rainbow
part of?
Project or something.
Rainbow Project. Yeah.
It was the first Rainbow Project, which was a UK Europe combination. It may have even been the second one actually. But it's an outstanding beer, very famous, of course. Very meaningful in terms of its views. Quite a number of people misinterpret the packaging, and I know in the past when we've sold it, we've had people just slightly misinterpret what the packaging is all about. but it's got the right ethos behind it. The flavors are outstanding. Lots of peanut to butter flavour, despite there being no peanuts in there, of course. But very good. Omnipollo Magic, brewed at Buxton.
Good stuff. I'll follow that up with a quick review of the S43 Pretzels on My Mind, which is, I was going to say it's only 10%. I appreciate 10% is strong, but it tastes really, really boozy, this. Maybe it's just because it's my first beer of the day. I'm not getting a huge amount of pretzel from it, but there's plenty of chocolate going on. And it's very nice. I mean, I can really feel it. It's warming me up. It's it's nice. I am impressed. Laura.
I'm really enjoying mine. Mine's quite boozy as well. Again, maybe the same, that it's just first drink of the day. Actually, similar to yours, actually. It's not hugely coconutty, but it is very chocolatey, and it's not sickly sweet either. It's quite nicely balanced, and as you can see, also quite drinkable because I've nearly finished it.
Outside glass.
Good work. And James, to round off the Imperial crew.
What a great crew. So this has been really nice. It's really thick. I get more marzipan than sort of pistachio and honeycomb, but I suppose that might be like a merge of them two flavours. It's really good, really sweet. Delicious. Strong, boozy.
Delicious, strong, boozy. That's how we like things around here. Brilliant. Right, Sean, next week, bring your landlord. That's what we're doing next week. You're not going to forget. So this is the 7-day-ish warning, because next week we thought we want to get back into the kind of the spirit of what we normally do on the Hopcast, where we all drink the same beer and we exchange views about it. But obviously, because we're all miles apart, it's a little bit more difficult. So we've we decided to pick a beer. It's probably quite a random beer for us to do because we don't tend to do too much in terms of like traditional stuff. But we are going with Landlord, and I was going to save this admission to next week, but I'll do it now. I've never ever had Landlord before, so this will be my first experience of Landlord.
You need to go back to doing the weather and the traffic. Forget beer.
James, I'm more outraged about that than I am about putting Yorkshire pudding in a beer. And Bessie's Yorkshire pudding in a beer.
I also kind of feel like your first one should be cask, not bottle. But...
Well, we can't have everything.
It's quite different. It's quite
There's James's challenge. James has to find the this week.
It might be possible. It might be possible, but I'm not going to accept that challenge, I'm afraid. But yeah, so if there's anyone that wants to kind of play along with us, whether it's a beer you've had lots of times or maybe like me and you're a kind of a landlord virgin, then you can get it from a lot of different places. All the kind of the supermarkets have it, and they've got plenty in stock. So it is one that you could quite easily get hold of if you want to sort of play along with the Hopcast next weekend. And I think that's just about it. So yeah, happy Easter. All I've got left to say.
Happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter, everyone.
We forgot our cream egg.
Oh, you can have that after.
Oh, this is for. We'll have our own Zoom cream egg party afterwards, Sean. We'll not tell anyone else. Right, goodbye, everybody. Have a good week.
See you later. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.